Iceman against Grimwood. So that's Iceman with his 14 EUACs against Grimwood with his 9. These are vets of the game. They're in, and I believe just the guys are trying to figure out whether they're banning stages or not. Okay, and we are doing stage bans. It's good stuff. Start at Temple Grounds, yo. We go, so both players with their original characters, that's quite fun. Their original characters. These guys even have original characters at this point. So, first characters I saw them both play. A better way of putting it. Iceman early lead. Quite well to but as we know, it doesn't, once he's in, getting him out again is the problem. So we'll see how Iceman handles that if it happens. Big grab. Extremely well here. Grim's down in that. The red. He puts himself into the red. Great adjustment. It's the saving rush for that moment, which is very smart. Very smart. Very good opening round from both players. So, momentum switch immediately with rush, buff mode on. play that. Strange old matchup, that one. Overlay is massively off, but why? Well, either way, it's 1-0 to the boy Grimwood. Trying to figure out these audio issues, homies. I have no obvious reason that that's happening. Obviously, rather there really was one. Anyone has any suggestions on the old audio stuff, give me a shout, because everything is the same as the last time I streamed, which is the problem, I guess. If I drastically changed anything, I'll put it down to that. Grim massively in control in that matchup. Even with the Sikion, which we know is his least favourite arm. Iceman back on the Min keeping Sikion. Oh, keeping Siki in his pocket. We know how much Grim does not like that arm. Sweet, okay, volume done. Sorry about that, fellas. I'll figure out the... I'll try and figure out the... well, I mean, I say delay. It's obviously not a delay because... well, the video's delayed. I don't know. All I know is it's weird in my ears too, which is usually a bad thing. Huge counter rush there by Iceman. This round a lot more balanced. But big, good read, huge read. That's the way to do it. Very convincing round. Yeah, one problem at a time. Nice maintaining this control, but if Grimwood can get buffed with that Chakramon, it's going to be hard. But he has got a rush to get out, or not get out, I guess. That was really unfortunate. The pillars just, well, quite quickly disappearing one by one. It's almost like a ditto, this matchup, where it's so momentum based. Whoever's buffed has a huge advantage. Okay, Grim just letting Ice have a little opportunity to get some space, but that's gone pretty quick. So close. Okay, that gives Ice a big opportunity now. Obviously Grim with Chakramon has the rush advantage over basically anything. Okay, at least he popped rush. At least he popped rush. I actually will unplug my Elgato at the end of this, in between rounds here, and see what happens. It's obviously an Elgato issue. I said to Riffa that it was being weird before the stream, so I guess it's just carried on, which is super unfortunate. But we move. Arms is weird enough as it is. Maybe some audio jank is, you know, fitting. I'm surprised Grim's playing this distance game, because he's definitely had the most success when he's stopped Ice buffing up. And it feels like he needs to get inside here. Huge. And that's the match. Okay, so that puts us at 2-1. And we have a different winner, which means it's time for a different stage. Nope, you saw nothing. Nothing happened. Immersion ruined. I tell you what else might be ruined. Come on, do your thing. I'm just gonna leave that up, see if it makes it work. Oh no. Oh no. Come on. You can do it. Okay, the Elgato has a light on it. That can only mean good things. Oh. Okay. Right, what about audio? Worse than ever. It's a classic. Either way, we're at 2-1 to Grimwood. And we're off to Buster Beach. Yeah, this... Well, I mean, audio's still bad on my end. So you guys let me know. Okay, T-Bird coming out from Grimwood. That classic glove curve arm pairing. Beautiful. Good stuff, fellas. Thank you. Alright, let's see what comes next. Almost a grab. A lot of grab attempts from Grimwood here, but Ice reading them very, very well. With the buff on and rush. It's hard to see a way out for Grim, but this is arms and weird things happen in arms. Does Ice want to save rush? It's not going to take much for the round to turn. A couple of T-Birds from Grim. There's one. Yeah, Ice probably should think about rushing if he can. Nice. Ice is so good at that. So good at winning those rush-offs with Min Min. Thanks for the patience, everybody. It seems like we chillin'. Never say GG to anyone because there's only bad games. Tribolt coming out. Bit of a surprise pick, but I guess it's anything to maintain pressure, get some grabs. That looked a bit weird. I thought that grab had landed, but here we go. A massive read. So Ice has turned this entire matchup round quite quickly. Good decisions, just back off. Wall out the light arm with 2 mediums. Great round from the homie. Which puts us at 2-2. Same bands from Icy Boy. And we're going to Temple. All matches are being streamed indeed. Which is good considering about 2 minutes ago I thought no matches were going to get streamed. Oh. Oh, Clapback Cobra's coming out. We love to see it. Seeky isn't the worst thing in the world here. Oh, Ripper, I'm trying to jinx it. I'm playing with fire. Grimwood happy to play patiently with Clapback Cobra, which is the best way to do it, really. You maintain that distance, keep the pressure on with your popper, and make your opponent cry, basically. But Ice definitely knows how to deal with it. But it's one of those things easier said than done, for sure. Still no damage from the Iceman. Oof. Well, that's a perfect. Perfect! Okay, Ice. Interesting arm picks here. Realizing he needs stuff that will go around. But landing rush here is going to be so rough. But we'll see. We'll see. Iceman can make weird things work. And so far, it's going better than the previous round. The Ice Dragon's timing is so far a bit of a problem for Grim. Ice probably happy for Grim's rush to be gone. Needs to close the gap if the Seeky rush is going to land. Which is the issue with a lot of the more interesting arms in this game. Oh, it's huge. That's unfortunate, but still 300 plus damage is good. With a rush that is so difficult to land anyway. And that is Grim with the rush. Oh! The Seeky coming in clutch there. Basically one more hit for both of these guys. And rush. You're going to have to pop here. Iceman. Huge. That is not a combo that... I saw working. But once you land that rush, I guess it's anyone's game. So this round looks like Grim's just not going to let... I'll try not to let Ice out the corner, but... Huge poke. That is a big deficit already. But Ice has got Dragon Arm now, so... That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And again, 200 damage. Can't be scoffed at. So the curve of the Seeky does go around Clapback quite nicely. As it sort of blocks the popper. So I see why Ice has chosen these arms. And obviously we know Dragon is pretty good. It's unfortunate I didn't see Grim holding that block, but he had the situation read pretty perfectly. That is a very good effort from both. Okay, so the first set. On the first set we have a 3-2. Hopefully a sign of what's to come. Great matches, fellas. A really good effort from Ice. So now I believe we move on to Yatta against Riffa. Which is like early domination of EUAC against current domination of EUAC. Had some games with Yatta just before this started actually, and he still knows what he's doing for sure. Okay, so we just gotta wait for the stage bands. What a huge opening set that was. Start on Buster Beach. Sango coming out from Riffa versus Yatta's usual Toaster Popper Ribbon Girl. It's been such a long time since these two played each other in any kind of competitive environment, so this should be fun. Yeah, Ice, that was crazy. That was I thought you had it. Really good rushes. Riffa with yellow mask. I wonder if he's content to stick with that. Now he has rush, he definitely is. Really, really smart rush from Yatta. To just evade everything and then reply it just as the protection goes away. A lot of light arm pokes, which is kind of what I'd expect from these two players. What mask does Riffa want? Kind of happy with anything, which I feel like is one of the keys with Masango. Okay. Well, that's a very good opening round from Yatta. Riffa coming out with a megawatt. Interesting. Obviously wants to wall out those toasters if he can. But Yatta just managing the situation pretty perfectly so far. So much groundwork for Ribbon Girl. Impressive groundwork that you kind of never really saw from anyone else, so this is always fun to watch. Now, Riffa is definitely going to want to try and get Yatta in a corner, I think. It feels like the only real way of consistently dealing with their Ribbon Girl. Yeah, definitely good pick of the yellow mask. Big time advantage Riffa now. Well, it was. First time we've seen blue mask. Whether that's intentional, whether that's just timing and RNG, who knows? Does Riffa keep distance? Well, There you go, that's the way to do it. No, never in control against Riffa. Definitely not Masango. Maybe if you kind of could pin the Ninjara down, which is difficult enough, maybe. Is that my cat? Oh, it was. Interesting. Anyway. Another rush, almost evaded by Yatta. That's 3 of 3 now. But Riffa reading the dodge. Yatta with full rush. Can they get inside to use it? That's often the challenge here, especially with, you know, you've got Masango's shield and the pillar to deal with. Not even much ship damage to be had there. Still super even. Another rush dealt with by Yatta, just... Pop a confirm here would definitely close the gap, but obviously Riffa knows that's exactly what Yatta's looking for. Not that that, you know, stops it happening a lot of the time. Oh, wow. Ah, it's unfortunate, but Riffa takes it. I thought there was a double KO coming. I was getting excited. I could smell it. And that's 1-0 Riffa. A very, very close first game. I wish I'm at work tomorrow. The usual Sundays. We've got pretty good Wi-Fi there, though. If I get no customers, I'll just, you know, just prop up, let someone else do some work. Okay, this is a stage pick I didn't expect, but here we go. Should be an interesting one. Can't really predict who's gonna be in control here, but you never can. Yeah, so I'm not playing tomorrow, but I'll swing by and watch for sure. Should be a good time. Both sticking with the same arms, I believe. Not that Riffa changes that much with his Masango, but I suppose don't fix what ain't broke. So we can see a lot of light arms, uncharged probably. If Riffa can... Yeah, I'm not a Masango expert, but it feels like if Riffa can get Red Mask on and knock down Yatta, it's going to be hard to get out of that situation, but we'll see. I was surprised by the previous round. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yellow mask here. Ah, yellow mask is gone. That's advantage Yatta. But Riffa saying screw you to me. Just nailing it back. Massive read. Riffa just happened to keep distance. This could still go either way, which has been the case with every round so far, right? Which is what we want. That was close. Really good timing out there from Yatta. I'm not seeing enough blorbs up in here, by the way. Thought we established it's the best arm in the game. pretty long range grab to start the round. Both players about even. So Riffa wants Yellow Mask back, but Yatta's dealing with that extremely well so far, so who knows the best way to play. Tribolt seems to be doing not as good a job as the Popper of blocking the Cracker, but I guess that's to be expected. So a lot more of these uncharged hits are creeping through. Sneaking over the top specifically, but a good grab to get that distance back. And that's why you pick Tribolt. From even health to, you know, one hit in it. There it is. It's looking like Via was a great stage pick after all. That puts us at 1-1. No, I was trying to figure out what this overlay was when Riffa sent it, but I'm in the middle. There I am. Who knew? Yatta interestingly banning Via. Obviously expecting Riffa to have some kind of response. Over we go. Sparring. There's such a range of stages as well. This is what we like. This is what we like. Grab to start it off. Basically the best way you can start a round. With, so far in full control. Yatta with Rush now. Popper confirm would change everything, but Riffa reading that pretty perfectly. And a big grab. Just solidify that lead. Both players so content to just keep distance and shoot out uncharged light arms. But when it works so well, why not? Two of the best neutral players around, really. Throwing out those sweet jabs. Riffa choosing not to try and knock Yatta out of that rush, which is smart. Smarter than I would ever be. We're back to that point, super even. I apologise if anyone can hear the cat shouting. He doesn't like it when I'm talking to people that aren't him. Poor homie. Damaged arm for Yatta, creating that distance very smartly. But that does allow Riffa to pick up a yellow mask, which is going to be hard to get away from. Yatta is not fussed, and that was an exchange. I enjoyed that. I feel like rush exchanges is just one of those things that you don't really get in other games in the same way as you do arms. Well, obviously. You know what I mean? Just so exciting. What is it, boy? Big grab. You have to nail in a few of those. Seems like Ribbon Girl's too small and can get in between Masango's shoulders. Riffa knows just shielding will do it at this point. But no need to play like that when you're one hit away from the win. Okay, 2-1. Okay, DNA lab. Is that the? That is not the first time we've been there. I was about to lie to you all then, which is disgraceful from me. I apologise. Here we go. We got the character switch from Riffa. Here it is. You know what it is, my friend and yours. So far, it's looking like a smart move. Especially on DNA Lab, it just works so perfectly. But we'll see, I'm sure it'll only take a round or so for Yatta to adapt. But that was a very convincing opening round. And that's perfect number 2, baby. This dude doesn't use his character for forever and then perfects his first round playing it. That's Riffa. Huge. You see Yatta definitely opting to try and close the gap. That's so difficult to do. And then once you close it, it's keeping it tight. It's just Riffa's so good at getting away. But the pillars are depleting, and both players have rush, which will change things. It always does. That's a big rush nailed. Can Yatta get close enough to use theirs? Looks like it's going to be a lot harder for Riffa to avoid them as Ninjara. Might as well just not try. And there we have it. The Ninjara is still what it was. That's a 3-1. That's just a pretty solid game once again. Which moves us on to the first of the second round of fixtures. Yeah, that's right, I said fixtures. Riffa against Iceman. Nice. Yeah, I know. Okay, where are we going? Stages. We go to Temple. Okay, Iceman once again starting with Min Min. And Riffa switching back to Mango Man. Definitely an interesting matchup. Iceman likely be trying to keep the pressure on with Sparkies. I feel like Riffa will be content to keep his distance. We'll see how this ends up playing out. We have Dragon Arm for the first time. How will that change? If at all. Let's see. Just really well played from Riffa so far. It's making it super tough for Ice to do much at all. But all it takes a couple of those Sparkies, which is a mistake I've made so many times against Iceman. It's forgetting just how much damage you can get hit by if you get hit by those charged. Turn around basically any round, but Riffa is a lot smarter than I am. Basically. A lot smarter. So that won't happen. Okay, so in a Tri-Bolt, Sparky and Megawatt, both players switching at least one side. It's a big rush landed by Riffa. And what will Ice do? Does he want Dragon Arm back, or is he happy to use the Tri-Bolt as an uncharged poking tool? I feel like it's on there for grab confirms. So probably wants it charged. Which also means he needs to try and stop Riffa getting on Red Mask. Can't nullify a Tri-Bolt. No one can nullify a Tri-Bolt. Trust me, I've tried. But Red Mask is as close as you can get to it. Both in full control in that first match. Let's see how Ice responds. Back to Temple Grounds, Ice. Ooh, an interesting character pick. He promised us explosions. Like he was definitely telling the truth. This should be an interesting matchup. A little bit like Ribbon Girl, you don't see Springtron much around anymore, so whether Ice tries to EMP, whether he can actually successfully get any off will be interesting. And there's one. This buff is scary. Oh, no way. Great play so far from Iceman. Be interesting to see whether Riffa just needs a little bit of time to adapt, or whether Ice has actually chosen something that's going to be a struggle. Another buff for Iceman. Just great pressure on both sides. Obviously Red Mask does kind of nullify the Tri-Bolt, as I mentioned before, but still 60 damage is 60 damage, or 120 if you're not charged. Extremely well played from Iceman. We love to see a Springtron. grab. That might be an opportunity for the EMP. Almost. He had me fooled. Unfortunate there, but not a full rush. And now Ice has his. Seems to be trying to want an EMP to get inside. But a bit of a different momentum switch this round. We have an EMP, but Ice is in one-hit territory. I've seen Ice do crazy things before, so let's see. Yeah, very clever from Riffa. Just get the high ground. Don't try anything silly. Nice starting round 3 with a full rush. Riffa very close to his. I feel like it would be wise for Ice to try and pop before, but Riffa knows that, so. Riffa fully aware Ice just can't use Rush. Oh! It takes the masks off. That's interesting. I mean, I definitely knew that, but how many times have I seen Mustang go against Springtron in any kind of competitive environment? Ice really struggling to get close this round. But there is a way in. It looks like he might have just found it. Ice doing really well to nail those EMPs. You know how good, I mean, I know how good Icetron is because obviously it's pretty good against Guardian. That was a good match. Nice to see Ice mixing up the characters. That does put us at 2-0. Cool. They're ready to go. What we see from Iceman. Back to Min. Interesting arm picks, but I've said that a few times. Get that weird dynamic of a perma-charged try against the essentially permanently uncharged try. And Ice Dragon against Ice Dragon. I feel like I've only just noticed that's what's happening here. Oh, it's huge. Absolutely beautiful. You love to see it. Unless you're Iceman. God, the Ninja is just great. Riffa pulling out the Manda. Obviously didn't fancy Ice Dragon versus Ice Dragon round 2. Nice from Iceman, gives an opportunity to perma-charge as well. 2 charge tri-bolts. Riffa's basically got to confirm on either side there. Which one does he want? Not that one. Really nice from Ice. He said, come at me if you want, but I'll just poke and grab. Okay. I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen. So I don't know if that actually did happen on my screen. Who knows? Yeah, we'll ignore it. Let's hope it was my end. Yeah, Ice in decent control here so far. But it still feels like Riffer's looking for this rush confirm, and I respect that. It doesn't get the rush at all. And Ice, all of a sudden looking like the dominant player in this matchup. Until that happens with the rush. Riffer has just looks like turned things up a notch and kind of trying to keep the Dragon Arm away, because Ice was landing a lot of charged tri-bolts, and that is not what you want. And yeah, there it is. Gives us our first 3-0. Riffer do be looking strong. Yatta against Grimwood. Looking like a very interesting matchup now. All players looking extremely strong, which I guess was, you know, kind of the point of this event, was that they were going to, but very competitive. We'd like to see it. Okay, and where are these bands going to take us? Temple Grounds. Hey, I've already got it selected. Don't you just love it when things work out? What will we see? Yeah, I thought we'd start on the max. Wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing the old clapback boy, but you know, depends how Yatta can handle this, I suppose. Always a strange matchup. Got one of the most evasive characters against a character that doesn't want anyone to evade anything. It's kind of the dynamic we've seen in most matches. One person trying to pin, the other one just trying to poke. So we'll see. I really can't predict how this is going to go, though. I mean, that was weird. That was strange. I liked it. Yeah, Temple Grounds has definitely dominated so far. It's a great stage, though, isn't it? That's the thing. I'd say it's up there with the most balanced, for sure. What a great rush that was from Yatta. It's a shame it didn't land a bit more, but that was... Movement is back. And the timing to sort of hit Grim between his deflects is very impressive as well. But Grim is now in big boy mode. That's one grab. That's two grabs. Oh no. And his rush is very nearly full. It is. That is how quickly that buff can turn everything around. But I think Yata's in the lead. A bit of chip will do it. Oh, so close. I thought we had a draw. It's just a demonstration of some of the match play that these players are capable of. Just knowing exactly the right time to back off. That kind of thing might be a little bit of rust on Yata's end, but also Grimwood's just very good at it. So far, again, similar to the round before, just Yata just the one hitting. But, you know, that's exactly how the round before was until Grimwood was in the red, and then everything just switched. Such a strong attribute of this character. See if Yata does any better handling it this round. Yeah, I agree, Riffer. It's I think between the fact that no one plays like him and specifically Ribbon Girl, it's just, yeah, so hard to adapt to. Okay, Yata seems like he's got the hang of that situation now, but Hydra coming out this time. Interesting. I played Yata, as I mentioned earlier, before this, and I used Hydra, and I realised quite quickly he doesn't jump very much. So it's every part of me thinks I should use it against Ribbon Girl, but also, you know, more grounded than my Kid Cobra, so who knows? We'll see what Grimwood could do. Grimwood almost landing the full rush. It's a lot of damage either way. Hydra is definitely allowing him to keep Yata in the corner. Very good arm switch, I eat my words. That gets us to 1-0. Magic muscles. I think even if you go back a little bit further to kind of, you know, Ribbon Girl domination in EU, there's still all played so differently. It's definitely an interesting character from that standpoint, but that's just about the only standpoint. No, I'm kidding. Kidding, of course. Of course. Mausoleum. Oh yeah, nice, wouldn't we all? I miss it. The good old days. I'm glad we still, I mean, EU's, yeah, not been eaten up by that too much. Okay, yeah, so Yata hasn't actually jumped yet. That was the first one, I believe. And that is just why he's so different to other Ribbon Girls. It makes you realise that Ribbon Girls' ground play is actually much better than a lot of people realise. I actually agree there, Yoshi. I think I prefer fighting coil. What's so rewarding about hitting a character that falls so far? really smart rush play from Yatta, just to get rid of Grims above all else. Grimwood is inside. We'll see how it changes things because. Okay, that's smart. Feels like Yatta almost needs to save rush for Grimwood's red because he's just so good at piling on the pressure once he gets down to this point. Oh, that was close. Again, we're just really smart match play from Grimwood there. The rush to get his arms back, shield, and then just being aware of the health lead and everything is very impressive. But Yatta once again looking very strong for someone who's not played the game for such a long time. Oh, the arm disabled. Love that. Grimwood is now in red. So we'll see if things change this time. Good movement from Yatta. That's one more hit to take the round. Just got to try and keep Grim at bay, but he's just so good at this. But that was one hit of absolutely anything was going to do it there. Okay, we'll go from round 3. Is Grim going to keep the Hydra on? He is. Grim with a rush now. Just trying to get inside, get close enough to use it. For all of Hydra's strengths, it's rush. It's definitely not one of the worst in the game, but it's not like a easy one to land by any means. But that'll do it. You can get your opponent frozen, just about anything will land. Man, Grim looking very strong in this round so far. Didn't give himself too much to do that round. And takes the 2-0 lead. Muscle Man. Where to we go? Oh, what, Raph is in? Nice. I really, yeah, gutted I probably can't play, but I'll watch what I can. I'm sure it'll be a good time. What are the numbers looking like? It's not a bad idea, Ripper, but if I say I'm sick, I'm the one that has to deal with it. Otherwise it'd be great. Okay, it's a pretty even round this time, but Grim taking a decent health lead. So close on an uncharged confirm. Grim now with Rush is definitely the dominant force right now, but we'll see. If Yatta can just a couple more charged arms, they're going to have to be charged to keep Grimwood away, but again, easier said than done. But Yatta does it. That was great read of that dash. Sorry, I've had to close the shop today, everyone. I've got arms fever. But I just never explain what arms fever is. I'll just repeat arms fever over and over again. Grim just wailing in now. Probably doesn't want to pop rush. But then Yatta did turn around the previous round in just a couple of punches, so we'll see. I know Grimwood is an advocate for using rush as soon as possible, but definitely some situations where it's not the best advice. Grimwood showing us that was one of them. It was a very strong round. Got arms fever and then just yell Max Brass quotes at them if anyone questions what I've said. Oh, huge counter rush. Only 165 damage, but you know, take into account the 300 that Yatta didn't land. Grim playing really well now for the whole round. Just calling out a lot of Yatta's ground movement. Yatta with a call out straight back for that grab. Both players just content with this distance, which is makes for a really interesting dynamic. See, that's what I did. I spoke about how well Grimwood was doing. And now Yatta has just shut me up. But we're in the red, so as we've learned in a couple of other rounds, it doesn't take much to turn it around. But again, I did the thing. And Yatta takes game 3. 2-1. Oh damn, his arms are pandemic. These poor dudes. Dr. Coil's a pandemic, pass it on. Okay, we go back to, you guessed it. That's what I'm saying. Back to Temple. Let's see what Yatta can do here. It feels like Temple Grounds has been the stage where Yatta's dominated from the beginning, and then Grimwood's just completely turned it around when he's got into the red. So we'll see if that carries on. Don't know why that would be a thing, but maybe I made it up. Probably did. relatively even so far. A full uncharged popper lands. Big damage. Big 120. Oh, there it is. Okay. Whatever happens, Yatta's won. I've seen a toaster confirm. But as I pointed out, who knows? Grim's in the red with rush. Yatta's not phased. He said nah. He said I'm not bothered about that. Thanks for asking. Nade does add a huge pressure element, especially with Yatta's so grounded. I think we're going to see a nade confirm. I think that's what Grim's looking for. I respect it. It's 3 charge nades. It's 450 damage. It's big. Yatta, every time Grim gets in, Yatta at the moment is just saying, you know, I don't know, go away, I guess. These nades are just relentless. Really smart movement from Yatta to not get hit by that nade, but that does put Grim in a great position now. The health lead, a full rush, and potentially if he gets hit, he's down in the red. Probably just needs one more hit to secure it. Yeah, I mean that more than secures it. That's the round for the Grim boy. Oh, the cat's back. All right, boy. Nice early grab from Yatta. Establish the early lead and another. What will Grim do to turn this one around? That's a start. So many of these uncharged poppers landing while Grim is buffed. Still a decent amount of damage. Both rushes probably could KO if they landed in full. I think both players should be fairly happy with that. It does mean if Grimwood gets down into red now, Yatta's not got a tool to comfortably end the round. And that's not going to happen at all because Grimwood ends the matchup with a big boy grab. That's a 3-1. Very solid gameplay there. Yatta versus Iceman for the beginning of the final round. Oh, the cat's back. Alright, boy. Okay, the players are in. Where are we heading? heading stage-wise? Will it be Temple Grounds? The players dominating the meta are Riffer and Replicant's Child. Okay, we go to Temple Grounds. I called it. Okay, we have it. We got the ribbon ditto. This will probably be a good example of just how differently these two play the same character. You see Yatta grounded a lot more and Iceman floating around. Ice with the explosion pressure. She is so very good at, working quite well at the beginning of the first round. Yatta seemingly unfazed, playing smartly around it. I feel like with two characters that are just so evasive and two players that are so good at it, Rush is going to be a massive part of this match. Ah, it's unfortunate. I respect the attempt, but as soon as Yatta's in the air there, he gets immune. Regardless of that, Ice has still got a health lead. Okay. Huge grab at the end of the round there for Yatta. Thought Ice might have rushed at the end there, but it probably would have been unwise. Wouldn't have had enough time to get enough damage, but okay, let's see what this round has for us. Almost got out of it there. Iceman using a lot more uncharged arms so far this round, which is basically the opposite of the previous round where it was all explosions. Whether that's intentional or not, I don't know, but it worked. There's a lot of damage there from Ice, and he's almost got his rush back already. Great movement and big damage from Yatta. That would have been the round if Ice had landed that in full. Yatta has definitely avoided more rushes than he's been hit by so far. Across all their matches, it's very impressive. Okay, it's 1-0. That was a entertaining first match. Okay, where's Ice going to take us? Sparring ring. I wonder if that means we get a... I wonder if we get a character switch. We don't. Ice is sticking with it. I wonder if we'll see the Seeky. I want to see the Seeky. I mean, it's a definitely not an ideal arm to use against Ribbon Girl, but I just want to see it. Amanda isn't something we saw in the previous round. Ice obviously feeling like he needs something to catch those ground dashes from Yatta. So far it's working, but that's something I've said a lot in Yatta's matches is his opponent sort of dominating the beginning, but then he just adapts so well and turns it around. But Ice is just nailing him with these nades. There we go, looking like a good switch from Iceman. See how Yatta replies. Same arms, obviously he just wants to try slightly different movements maybe, but that's unfortunate. Again, gotta respect the attempt. Nice movement from Ice. Unfortunate to not knock Yatta out of that, but I'm sure he won't mind too much. 20 or so damage from a rush. Can't complain too much. Ice massively in pole position here. Nearly with full rush. And that would do it if he can land it in full. It definitely would now. So many uncharged Manders, just looking like the perfect arm catching Yatta's movement, but that is crazy movement to get out of that rush. I couldn't see a way out of that for him, but just proves me wrong. And a popper confirm now would get it really, really close. But Ice just calling out that dash. That's a very nice read from the man. The man 92. Yeah, Ribbon's always been a lot more used in Europe than anywhere else. You do get a few in Japan, but that's why if you look at tier lists, there's always a weird kind of Europe bias towards Ribbon Girls. We've always had so much pain caused by the character, whereas in North America there's never been really many. I still just nailing Yatta with these Manders. It's looking like a perfect arm change. Just that, I think that's 7 in this round. That is pretty crazy. Yatta, the last few seconds has been the one putting damage, wrecking up damage, but it's too late at that point. Lands a rush. That's going to be big. That's going to 385. That's not a bad way to start a round. You can start building up the next one. Yatta is going to want to use his fairly soon, I would imagine. That's one way to do it. And that puts the players pretty level. Yatta with a slight health lead, but that's very slight, 1 or 2 hits. Ice looking like he's going to be the one to get rushed first though, which is definitely going to be important in this match. And if you can do that, Yatta is now in range. That's pretty perfectly played by Iceman. Really good adaptation, pulling out the Manda here. It's looking like it might be the deciding factor. Yeah, the slap absolutely putting in work. Yatta's still sticking with his guns with the arms. It's looking, I mean, so far it's looking like a very smart choice because Iceman is yet to hit him. So good at finding the angles there to get out of pressure. He's nailed on. So much damage to Ice. Yatta in complete control there for round 1. Ice putting the nade away. Obviously realising the Mando was the one. Really putting in the work. Big damage. Will Yatta respond in the same way as before? And no, he won't. That definitely puts Ice in the driver's seat. There we go, Ice just answering back. He wants that 3-1. Yatta doing a pretty good job at keeping the distance, which seems to be when he's strongest here, but as soon as Ice can get that kind of close range height, punching downwards with the Tri-Blast, it's hard to do much about it. That could be huge. Great movement from both these players to avoid the slap from Yatta and to avoid the rush from Ice. Ice obviously in one hit territory. There it is. Which puts us at 2-2. We got a fun stage coming. Nice. Stage selection looking pretty smart, and I have left the lobby screen out. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, basically Ice is I don't want to say dominating, because Yatta has shown many times that you can turn it around with Rush. But Ice's stage selection looking very smart. And that's a big rush to land. Can't get the nade explosion, but even anything when you're in a ribbon ditto is important and difficult. This is a super tight round. Yatta just piling on the pressure once he's got Iceman in this corner. Does not want to let him out. Doesn't want to let him start throwing out charged arms. And that popper is just perfectly placed. You love to see it. Any kind of confirm is just great, isn't it? Ice answering straight back with a big 400 rush. That puts the players pretty much tied up on health. They might be actually tied up on health here. So every hit landed here is important, and a grab is even better. How important is that going to be? If Ice can get in and land rush, I mean a full rush would KO here, but doesn't get the nade explosion, but does get the slap, and that gets Iceman the set. We have another 3-2. You love to see it. Great games from Ice and Yatta. That means, if I'm not mistaken, we have Riffa against Grimwood to decide the event. Yeah, we do. This will be interesting. Both players, 2 sets played, 2 sets won. So whoever wins out of the 2 of them takes first place. It's going to be fun. And no surprise, we go to Temple Grounds. Max Brass against Masango. It's as meta as it gets, everybody. So it's neutral against aggression is how I see this one going. Riffa more than happy to kind of maintain this space and poke, but if Grimwood can get in, it's going to be hard for Riffa to get him out again. And that was a great couple of chillers and a grab from Grim. Okay, Riffa unfazed by the health deficit and going for the rush anyway. Probably wants Grimwood to use his now, but Riffa's shown many times before that he can turn any match around. Isn't a million miles away from getting another rush here. Fair play, fair play. Riffa's done well to force Grim's rush. And Grim's done very well to land it and take the round. Big Seeky. We know how much Grim hates fighting against Seeky, so you see why Riffa has chosen it. I mean, that and the huge rush damage. Almost a grab there from Grim. That's fair. After that double chiller in the first round, Riffers won't get hit by that again. Another poke from Riffa there. He'll be happy with that 40, but Grim really piling on the pressure. That is like a frame 0 wake-up grab. Probably just 1 or 2 of these uncharged crackers would do it for Riffa, but Grimwood is farming rush over there. It's hard for Riffa to actually get in and do anything about it. That is insane. Absolutely unreal. That's the kind of thing that we only see on an event like this, I think. Riffa just calculating that perfectly. The sneaky. And I think Grim's may be a little bit tilted by that as well. I think if you don't like Seeky and then it does that, it's going to hurt. But then also it does that sometimes. It's big damage from Riffa. Riffa inviting the pressure there. And calling out that landing and taking game 1. Nothing Riffa. Where do the players go next? Yeah, exactly. It's just a strong arm, and also Grim hates it so much. Definitely, it's definitely a good choice. Okay, so after match 1, Riffa is 1 match up. Let's see what Mausoleum holds. I guess this is Grim kind of wanting a more aggressive stage, but obviously Riffa's bans were sparring in Via, which is definitely a reasonable option, but Grim is just nailing it so far. Constant call outs, pretty much got rush already. It's basically the perfect start to a round. Basically the perfect round. 1 hit from Riffa and just no time wasted. 38 seconds. And what do we see from Riffa? Okay, that was strange, but again, we just ignore it. Same arm choices from Riffa, obviously realising that was just good play from Grim rather than anything wrong with his arms. Oh, what does he want here? Probably waiting for Grim's buff to wear off, and I mean that's happened now. Great glove play from Grim there, just to perfectly block the whole cracker and get some damage off. Big grab. Okay, Riffa opting to get grabbed there. Probably thinks he can get rushed, but Grim would shut that idea down pretty quick. Very convincing match, and that puts us at 1-1. Who knows where this is going next? Another good game. And we see the Seiki back. Wouldn't have worked out on Mausoleum with all the straight punches and sort of lack of any terrain, but on here, who knows? Worked first time. And as Ice mentioned, there's the mind game element as well. Where you know Grim hates it. Grim knows that you know that, but you're using it anyway. Both players pretty even rush. Grim with a slight health lead. Nice read there from Grim. Riffa obviously happy to use Rush to just get some distance between the two. Let him get a mask on. Seems like he might have found some rhythm there. That was a few good reads in a row. Blue mask on top of the pillars is just going to be quite hard to hit, so I get the choice. Riffa going to want to think about getting the yellow mask on if he can. Grim knows that, so Riffa just calls out that fact. Super even round once again. It's gonna, I was gonna say, be determined by whether Riffa can get the mask on, because chip damage alone might do this. Again, perfect match play from Grim, getting behind the pillar so Riffa can't chip too much. That was the only real way to guarantee the win there. Great blue mask movement there from Riffa to get out of that one. So hard to do that against double glove, but there's a reason these guys have got so many wins between them. There's a reason Riffa has 41. And Riffa's blue mask play is just perfect. Grim has just landed a couple of hits. Who knows? Maybe something's changing. I think now Riffa's going to be happy to just Seiki poke, try and get a lucky stun. He might even have no. Grim's going to want to avoid too many grab attempts. That's just free damage for Riffa. Provided he reads them, obviously. There you go. Totally different from the previous round. Early yellow mask. Will Grim be able to get that off, or? So even if Riffa isn't about to use his, it's the... If he's got yellow mask on, it's the fact that Grim knows he can't use his at all, so... It's quite a big mind game factor again. Just great pressure here from both players. Grimm's gloves calling out any movement that Riffa can make, and then Riffa just chucking out uncharged crackers and charged C-keys and just covering all angles there. Somehow boxing against the double glove Max Brass, which is just mind-blowing. But Grimm's now in a great position with Riffa popping his rush there. And that C-key could... I mean, that is as good as Arms gets from Riffa there. And you know that's upset Grimwood. It would upset me. Oh no. Perfect timing though, you've just got to give that to Riffa there. It's just perfect, really. That puts us at 2-1. So potentially the final match. Let's see. I think we have a character change here from Riffa, and not one from Grimwood. Yeah, that's the arm you hate the most. Doing that to you, it's just gonna... That's just bedtime, innit? That'll be it for me. That'll be the switches turned off, and I'm not turning it on for about a month. Okay, here we go, Ninjara time. Just as Grimwood's got used to fighting against Masango, Riffa does this. That's the glory of having two characters that you're just the best with. Good call out from Grim though. Even more so than Masango, he needs to keep the gap small here if he can. Like, because Masango's at least got tools to get out of it. Ninjara's got the teleport, but I feel like that's less of a thing than the pillar. Grim just calling out Riffa's movement here with those gloves. Both players in rush territory. Obviously, Grim wins in a rush off and wins if he just calls out that dash. Great play from Grim there to took him about half a round to adapt, but once he did, it was really difficult for Riffa to get anywhere near him. Just such great rhythm with these two arms from Riffa to apply this kind of pressure with a light arm and a dragon. It's pretty impressive. Grim, you know, if he can keep calling out Riffa's dashes like he did in that previous round, there's definitely not much Riffa can do about that fact. But once again, what makes these players so good is that they'll both know those facts about each other. Riffa knows what Grim's trying to do, and he'll probably know how to get around it. Okay, big round here. If Grim takes this round, we go to a game 5. If Riffa takes it, he wins. I'm surprised to see the Mander out, but I mean, Riffa knows best. Obviously feels like he wants to pile on more pressure than the Dragon's capable of. Or maybe he anticipated the Chakram coming out. So far, it just seems like both players are sizing each other up this round. Maybe was waiting for some kind of counter rush there from Riffa. That was strange, but again, we'll just ignore it. With those rush interactions, Riffa's got a really solid lead here. But Grim in the red with Chakramon is going to be scary, so we'll see if Riffa can. Can take this round. Grim nearly with rush as well. And the grab. It's going to be very tough for Riffa to get out of anything here. Both players even now. Oh, and Riffa takes it. I genuinely couldn't see who had that. I really thought Grim had it. Both players did as well. Both players playing at the end there like they thought it was a draw, but I guess it wasn't, and that's the main thing there. Which means that, let me just refresh the standings before I say anything. Riffa, of course, classic Riffa fashion, wins it with 3 wins out of 3. Grimwood in second with 2 wins and a loss. Then you got Iceman in third, Yatta in fourth. Which is, Yatta's not played a long time. That's not that fourth place doesn't feel fair, because the games were so good. I guess that's the nature of the top 4 players in EUAC history. It's always going to be like that. Oh yeah, right. So, thank you for having me, everybody. Sorry about the hiccups at the beginning, but we got there in the end. That was great games.